So here we are, where we stopped the last time. And in this video, we will be covering something which is called functions. And from my experience I have some experience of trying to teach people JavaScript or some other programming languages. It's really not that easy concept to understand if you are not programmer. So you might have some struggles here, and this is fine. This is totally normal. You just need to do it until you understand how it works, or you just do it without understanding, and at some point you will understand. So you got the idea. Just try. Basically, let's say we have the following task. We have a list of cities. Let's say it will be London, uh, Paris, Berlin, something like that. And we have the list of temperatures in Celsius degrees. So it's 18 in London, let's say, 23 in Paris, and 26 in Berlin. I think it's geographically accurate, I guess. So our task, what we need to do, we need to console log pairs of these values to our output, basically console log pairs. Let's call it like that. First thing that we need to do, what we should do, I believe in this task, we need to declare variables. So it will be city1, this will be London, temperature in city1 would be 18 degrees. The same way we just assign variable c2 and t2, which will be like 23 in Paris, and also c3 will be Berlin, and t3 temperature Berlin will be 26 degrees. Now we need to console log our data in the provided format, so we'll just do like console log c1 plus brackets comma space plus t1. It should give us the file format like that. And we will just do the same thing. Why doesn't it work? We'll just do the same thing for c2, and we will do the same thing for c3. Yeah, basically that's nice. We've done. We are the champions. So we have this result. We go to our team lead or to our senior or whatever, and he tells us, "Yeah, that's good, bro. Nice work. It's well done. But the issue is that we're selling our great weather application in the United States, and they don't know what Celsius is. You need to convert your temperature to Fahrenheit." And you're like, "Okay, I need to work on the application for a little bit more." And what you need to do, you need to now you need to sort of cast your temperature in Celsius in Fahrenheit. And if I remember correctly, it looks something like 9 divided by 5 plus 32. I'm not sure if it's a correct calculation, but I mean the idea should be clear for you. And what you need to do in this case, you need to modify multiple lines of code, and it's something that we don't want to do. If you didn't get it yet, it's something that we don't like to do. We don't like to modify the existing code. And that's great. Now it works again, and we come to our senior once again and say, "Okay, we've done it. We've modified everything." And he tells, "Yeah, good job, but you see these decimals here. We don't want it. We want just, like the integer value." And you or go to your workplace again and like, "Okay, well, how do I do? Like, how do I modify this decimal value to integer?" And you find the answer. You just add like math around here, and you got the idea. You need to modify it once again in every line. And once again, in this example, you only have 3 cities and 3 temperatures, but let's say it's a real life application and you have 50 places where you need to modify it, and this is a pain. And you start to think, is there a way to make it somehow more simple? And obviously, there is a way, and this way is called function. So first of all, let's talk about how we declare function. To declare function, we use another keyword, which is like function. Probably JavaScript was made by people who also don't have imagination like me. And we state this keyword, then we name our function somehow. In my task, it will be print city. We then add these brackets. We will get back to it later. And then we add the curly braces. And basically our function is defined. Now it has its name, it has a function keyword, it has its name, it has these mysterious brackets, which we'll talk a bit later, and it has a so-called function body. So function body is limited by these two curly braces. What happens inside function body is that you can execute code there. So if, for example, you put this line of code here inside the function, it will be executed when the function is called. How do you call the function? It's pretty simple. You just put its name and mysterious brackets after it, and basically that's it. Just run the application, and once again, Ctrl S, run the application, and you will see that it says exactly what we wanted it to say. So from JavaScript, from the engine point of view, what is happening? JavaScript starts execution. It ignores all the comments. I never mentioned it, but these are the comments, and these are executed by ignored by the engine. It says, okay, here we have a variable declaration C1. Here we have the variable. How is it called? I forgot the word. So you have declaration, and then you have. So basically now it's London. C1 is now London. I keep forgetting the words. Same with temperature in London, same with Paris, temperature in Paris. It goes up to this line and then it says, okay, I have a function here, call here. There is this function. It starts to look for a function name, and here it is. You have the function name here. It goes then to the function body, executes everything which is inside the function body, and then it hits this like curly bracket, closing curly bracer, and it goes back to the place their function was called. And now it proceeds executing the code to the bottom. So if you have like this enabled and you run the code again, you will see that it proceeds with executing till the end of the script. Also, the thing with function declaration, you can declare them basically anywhere in your script. It could be after the function is called, it could be before the function is called, it doesn't matter. And I won't tell you why. You can just Google it or ask ChatGPT, because he will give you, I'm not sure, it will give you a good answer for this question. Let's just bring it back to the bottom for the convenience. And as you can see, we still have this issue. So even though we have everything inside the function, it still has variables here. And this is not what we want. Basically, we want the function to ease our life. And currently, it just makes it harder because we need to write functions for City2 and City3. What we can do here is we can use these magic brackets here, which I mentioned before, to send some arguments to our function. So let's say we need to send city and also temperature. These are two arguments separated by comma. I think it's comma. I'm not sure about words. Words are hard. And we also need to modify the body of our function now. So we change it to city because we call it city here, and we change this one to temp, which stands for temperature, and it's just short temp, it's not because, I don't know how to spell temperature. I just like the short words, obviously. And if we call our function like that, oops, it's not that oops, it's this oops. We will get undefined and nan. I'm actually not sure why it keeps running some sort of not saved code, but rerunning the application usually fixes its issue. It just says that undefined and nan. We will probably come back to what undefined and nan later, but maybe not. I'm not sure. But this is not something that we want to see. We want to see like London and temperature 18 or Paris or temperature 23. And in order to fix this, we need to pass this argument on function call. So first argument will be, let's say, London. Second argument will be, let's say, 68. I'm not sure. London apocalypse or something like that. And as you can see, now we get the correct data. That's because we are passing arguments to our function. So once again, how it works. The JavaScript engine goes from top to bottom. It hits the function and it sees the function declaration here. And it also sees that it consumes two arguments to it. And here we also have two arguments. First one, London, is written to city variable, which you use inside the function. And second one, 68. Maybe I should change it to 69, but I mean, whatever. Is written to temp variable. And that way, we sort of pass these variables inside the execution, inside the function execution context inside the body. And that allows us to get the result that we want. We obviously can also change this just bare values to our variables. So C1, T1. And if we run it right now, we will get the old value. I'm not sure why. Oh no, it's right. It's correct value because it's recalculated to Fahrenheit. So we will get the value that we need. And now we can also call this function for T3, C3 and C2, T2 and get the correct result, the result that we expect. And this is a much cleaner approach because now if let's say we come to like our senior once again and he tells us, okay, like we don't want round here, we want floor here. So it's not rounded, it's sort of rounded, but till the integer closest smaller integer. We don't have to modify it in three places. We can just modify it here. And if we had 50 cities, it's a huge save of the time. It also makes your code much more cleaner and it makes it look much more professional. So basically, we are happy with the solution. We come to our senior once again, and he says, okay, that's nice, but now we have our requirements changed. So it's not like what we've done before. We need to modify our code again. And we want this thing regarding this like London, Paris and stuff like that. We want this to be on the same line. So it's just, like this line at the bottom of the screen, which like runs from left to right, from right to left, whatever. There you see like the forecast. And it needs to be holded in one string. And okay, but I mean, how do we do that? Because with our current approach, what we do is we just console log values inside the function, and we somehow need to get this string from the function in order to be able to concatenate all the strings together. And the question is like, how we do that? Is it possible? And the answer is obviously yes. We can use a return keyword to return a value from function. So let's talk about this once again, how the engine works here. It goes from top to bottom. Once again, here's the function, sees that it needs to pass C1 as first argument city. It sees that it needs to pass T1 as temperature argument. It goes to the function body. It executes this command, so it recalculates this string. So it will be like London 64 here. And then it sees that there is a return keyword. So what it does, it returns a value of the execution to our main script. So now we can actually use some sort of variable, let's say str1, to hold this value for us. So now if we just comment this out and we just console, oh my god, console log str1. So now if we console log it, what you will see is that it returned that as the value of this whole like calculation, and now we can use it as it's hold inside the variable. We can use it in our main script, and half work is done. The second part is that we need to combine all the strings together, so it's one string, as it was mentioned before. For that, we will do sort of like a cumulator. We will just declare another variable called line. We will assign empty string to it, and in each function call, we will just add add value which is returned from the function to our existing line. So in the first line, it will be just London 64. With second call, tips, вот так. With second call, it will be London Paris 23, so it will be like London 64 plus Paris 23. So you got the idea. It's all accumulated to one line, and then we will console log our line at the end. And the only little thing that I would like to do is I would like to add this little space in the end, so they are not jammed together without space. So now if you run the application, you can see that now we finally got the result which we are happy with. And yeah, basically there's only one little thing which I would like to mention. It's another operator which we can use. So this one looks, I mean, it looks fine, but like if you never programmed before and if you only experience my math like in university or at school, this is a pretty strange pretty strange line to make. But basically what it does, it takes the initial value, not initial, just value of line. Then it adds this string from the function. So it just concatenates these two strings. And then it reassigns the line value. I hope this is understandable. So we can basically what I was talking about, we can modify this line a bit. So we can just do it like that. This means that this value of this variable will be concatenated with this, and it will be rewritten to the result will be rewritten to line variable. So if you run it again, you will see that you get pretty much the same result. So that's it. If you understand it just a little bit, if you think you understand it, that's cool. It's really good for you because this is a complex part. In the next part, I think we will talk about first complex type, which is array. So till the next time.